Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to my video on the Battlefield 4 Fall Patch. Now, if you're wondering why I never made any update videos about Battlefield 4 before this, well, quite frankly, like most people know, I was a big fan of Battlefield for a long, I say for a long time, since Bad Company 2. That's the first one I got into, really enjoyed it, was real hyped for Battlefield 3. Had a few problems along the way with Battlefield 3, but around summer of 2012, even though I pre-ordered it in October of 2011 when it came out, I never got really around to playing the multiplayer truly till around July of 2012 because I needed to play it on an HD TV and all kinds of stuff. And yeah, I played Battlefield 3 pretty consistently throughout that time. Um, but all the things that led up to what Battlefield 3 came to be in the final version, there was a lot of steps taken, a lot of money spent, and I just did not like having to do that with Battlefield 3. So I wanted to wait for Battlefield 4. Now, when the game was announced, it was no surprise that the game was broken beyond all belief. Maybe not quite as broken as people would have thought, especially myself. I didn't think the game would be that broken. I didn't think it'd be unplayable, okay, like it was. And so, again, I was glad I never picked the game up. And I had made videos about it last year, just talking generally about it. Again, if you want to see any more videos about Battlefield, I've got a playlist. And you could see basically kind of like my history. Granted, I don't do a whole lot of Battlefield videos on my channel, but I do enough just to talk about it. But I play the game so much. I know a lot about the games. And I've just been playing them for so long, there's just no real reason to make videos on it. You know, there's not that much to make videos on. But getting through all that, though, I played Battlefield 3 for a very, very long time. When Battlefield 4 came out, I played the beta, didn't care for it. And then when I got my custom-built PC here, I ended up investing in a graphics card, a Sapphire R9 270X. And it came with a copy of Battlefield 4. So I was like, cool, I can get me a new graphics card, won't have to pay for the game. And yeah, just didn't really, didn't really care, just wanted to get the game, I didn't want to really pay money for it. So I figured, hey, cool, I can get this with my graphics card for free. That's going to be awesome. So, excuse me there, I had to take a quick drink here. So, with that, I went ahead and installed the game. I got it in January, actually, of this year. Played through the campaign, enjoyed the campaign. But I still kept hearing all this bad stuff about the multiplayer. How it was broken, how no one could play it. And around, I think, Valentine's Day, so February 14th or somewhere around there, I think they had a special going on, and I had a buddy of mine who hadn't got the game yet. I said, come on, get it on PC so we can play it. I'd like to play it because I've had the game for a month and a half, and I haven't got to touch it. So, he bought it. We both got into the multiplayer, and it was terrible. Played it for 2 hours. It was terrible. It really was. You getting killed behind cover, all kinds of stuff. And so with that, we had all that going on, and we're just like, we don't like the game. Like, it played way too different. Granted, we're playing on 360 controllers. Yes, not mouse and keyboard, because I'm not going to sit there and play a game like this that I've learned on console, and where with keyboard, if I push the wrong key or the wrong button or whatever, oh, well, then I would have just messed something up. And Battlefield has a lot of split-second decisions. And I'm not going to be the cause of error for hitting the wrong key. So, again, played it on a controller. Didn't like the fact that I had to play it on a 360 controller, but I thought, well, you know, even if I got it on PS4, if I had one, it still does the trigger thing for the controls and all that. So I was like, oh, well, it's not a big deal. And I want to play 64 players and all that kind of stuff. Even that didn't matter to me at this point. Like, I really didn't care that I could play it in full 1080p. I didn't care 1080p 60 frames a second, 64 player matches. Really didn't care about that. Because now I'm just sitting here looking at this game and, like, I just can't play it. So as time went on, I just stopped playing the game. I played it that one time, and then I just pretty much didn't play it anymore. And then I played it in May. I said I wasn't going to play it again till they fixed it better. Granted, it was fixed to the point it didn't crash, but that's not fixing it when I'm getting killed behind cover and I'm getting shot through cover one shot, you know. But then I played it in May, and I wasn't getting shot through cover anymore, which was nice. But I still felt the game didn't feel like a Battlefield game. Like, when I go and play Bad Company 2 on PS3, I don't play it anymore because it's dead. But if I were to go back and play it, like, around 2012 when I was playing Battlefield 3, there was, like, a couple weeks there I played Bad Company 2, and I even uploaded a video or two. And I was like, oh, cool, you know, I remember playing Bad Company 2 quite a bit. And even when I went back to play that, I was still able to adapt a little bit. There wasn't much adapting I needed to do, and it was playable. Battlefield 3, coming off Bad Company 2 for a few weeks, was still playable. But going back to Battlefield 4, it still didn't feel right. The mechanics didn't feel right. I don't know if it was the recoil on the guns, the movement of the character, but regardless, I stopped playing the game after that. I was just like, I still don't like this game. Even if the network problems are fixed and netcode and all that, where you don't get shot in cover anymore, even if that's fixed, I just don't have an interest in playing this game. So, flashback to, well, about a week ago, I uninstalled Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4 from my computer. I was like, I'm never playing this. I'd rather just take this 30 or 40 gigs of space and put it towards a game I like. So I bought some Steam games, and I was just like, okay, I'll put these on here instead. So I did that. Then, I believe it was a few days ago, they announced a fall patch. I think that's probably October 1st or so when they announced it. I'm not sure. You'd have to check the date. But they announced a fall patch. And I'm like, oh, wow, fall patch. And I just figured it was just a regular old patch like they always talk about. But no, this was actually, this wasn't about fixing the game necessarily. This was overhauling the game. And I was like, oh, cool. It's going to play like Battlefield 3. You know, and I was like, well, I have to see that, you know, to believe it, you know, because just like when they said it was fixed and it wasn't fixed, playing like Battlefield 3, yeah, I don't know if I believe that. But they're like, oh yeah, we fixed the recoil, we fixed the movement, we fixed a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm interested. Well, it was about yesterday. It was Saturday, so whenever this video gets up, it may be up on Sunday or Monday. Saturday, let me find out on the calendar what day that was. Saturday, October the 4th of 2014. I found out that I had received a belated birthday gift. It was something that somebody had ordered me online, and it was just taking forever. They ordered it like 2 weeks ago, and it just took forever to get here. And they had bought me a game. And that game was Battlefield 4 on the PS3. Now, going into Battlefield 4 on the PS3, I was like, well, I'm not really sure how to take this game. I mean, granted, it's a gift. I'll accept it regardless. I was happy to have it. But people asked me why I never got it on the PS3 to begin with. Well, Battlefield 3 had a lot of problems. Like, when you played Armored Kill, it sucked on console. It really did. But when I played Battlefield 4 on the PC, every map felt like Armored Kill. And I felt this could have been a good or a bad thing to happen with Battlefield 4 on the PS3. Is it going to be really, really huge? Like, you know, as big as PC was, I was like, how are they going to do this on the PS3? How does this game even run? You know, because Battlefield 4 is a very, very big scaled game. And I didn't know how exactly they were going to do it. I didn't know if it was going to be better. Maybe they would scale it down quite a bit, so maybe it wouldn't feel as large. So I didn't know what to think at the time. But I was like, I have the game now. I can try the last gen sort of version, and I could try this version, or the PC version, I should say, and give my opinion on which one I like. Not only that, they had the fall patch. And I was like, well, everything could only go up from here. And even PC and PS3, I believe, in particular, both had specific patches, platform-specific patches for them. Which I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. But it was just like little things, like crashes or whatever. But yesterday I got the game, but I only played through the campaign because the person I was going to play with had to work, and they work second shift. So I couldn't play with them at the time. And so we waited till today. And I played it, and I was like, holy shit. This game feels playable now. I couldn't believe how much this game changed. Now again, I'm not sure if the PC version is like this. Quite frankly, if it is, that would be awesome, but if it's not, I don't want, you know, I'm glad that at least one version that I have works, and that is the fall patch version of Battlefield 4 on the PS3. Which is basically why I'm making this video. I want to talk about it. The game just feels so much more refined. It really does. I don't know if it feels like Battlefield 3 necessarily. I actually think it feels like a hybrid of Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3. Like, if you wanted the best of both worlds pretty much from both of those games, that's pretty much what you've got. A lot of the bugs, like in Battlefield 3, like the parachutes, you know, with them not, you have to have the hands out animation to pull the string. That was always eliminated from Battlefield 4, which is nice. I'm still kind of not used to it. I'm still used to waiting on an animation to come up before I can pull the string. Because usually you'd have to wait till your hands came out so you could pull the string and deploy parachute. But on Bad Company 2, it wasn't like that. It was just jump, okay, do parachute. You know. So they fixed that. I believe you also have C4 for the recon kit, which was just like Bad Company 2. Again, I haven't played much of the game, so it's hard for me to judge every little thing. But there was that. And I guess Levolution, if you want to call it that, it was like kind of like Destruction 2.0, but not really. I remember in my PC rant, I hated it. I didn't experience it much playing it on the PS3 version, so I can't really give much input on that either. But I'm already ranked 7 on the PS3 version, just in playing it in one day. And the whole time I was playing PC, I'll leave a screen cap in the description so you can see side by side. I was only like ranked 5, and that was with me trying to give every fiber of my being to just try to play the game. I just hated it so much. You could tell by my KD of how much better or worse I was doing on this version with the fall patch and, well, the fact that it's on my sort of home turf of the PS3. So if I ever get any more Battlefield games in the future, for one, I'll probably still have to wait about a year before they even turn out to be any good. But I think I'm always going to have both alternatives, the PS3 and the PC version. Because PS3 isn't going to last forever, and if I really want to play the game again, I'll have to play it on PC. which doesn't bother me. Again, I would just kind of deal with it. Maybe I could figure out a way to get the DualShock 3 or 4, whatever one I have at the time, to work on the PC and work properly. Or maybe I would get like an Xbox One controller, because I really like their triggers. Just the look of them. Like, they look like they would do really well for a game like this. But like the Xbox 360, just not really a fan of those kind of triggers anymore. I mean, they worked for games like Halo and stuff, but they just don't work for me personally. I just don't care for it. I'd rather just use L1 and R1 to aim and shoot. Granted, I know it's not going to work like that on Xbox, and, fair enough. But what I'm saying is the concept behind me playing this game. I want to feel as comfortable as possible playing it. And if I have to use the triggers, I want to use good triggers. And again, I haven't used a PS4 controller, so I can't really comment. I've held one, and I think they feel kind of funny, but I've never actually sat down and played with one, because none of my friends have PS4. So we all either have PC or PS3, pretty much. So until I can try it out on something else, I can't really comment on that. But yeah, really enjoyed this. Battlefield 4 took it a year, but it finally feels playable. I don't disregard anything I ever said about Battlefield 4 in the past. Those videos will always stay up. I don't feel that I'm a hypocrite by saying this, because I never said I didn't want to like the game. I really did want to like the game. And I just couldn't back in the day. But now, I think I really enjoy it. And I think a lot of it has to do with being back on the PS3. Not trying to doubt PC or anything, because I think the PC version of Battlefield 3 would be great, especially when Battlefield 3 is pretty much dying on the PS3 right now. So, I think that's about all I've got to say about that version of the game. So, there's my fall patch thoughts video. Really enjoying it. Like I said, if you want to get Battlefield 4 on the PS3, I'd highly recommend that you get the game used, because the used game is only $25 used on PS3, and you don't need an online pass. So there's none of this stuff that, with the PS3 version of Battlefield 3 tied in, that you'd actually have any problems with, like, oh, I have to have an online pass, right? Even like premium and stuff, whenever you get into like the servers, I guess I should also talk about those. With I don't remember how it was with Battlefield 4 on the PC, but I remember not liking the fact that you have to browser launch everything, which it was like that on Battlefield 3, I think, as well. But I like the fact that even if you're a regular user, they have better matchmaking options. So, like, since I'm not a premium user, they'll try and find games for me that aren't premium games, or it'll actually work, so it won't be like, oh, you're trying to load content you don't have, or whatever the case may be. So I really like that about the game as well. But again, I think it's too early to judge, to say whether it's better than Battlefield 3 or Bad Company 2. But for right now, I'm really enjoying it. Feels like a fresh idea, change of pace. Feels really nice, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So, again, I think I should wrap this up now. It's getting to be close to 20 minutes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I know putting up with me is not the funnest thing in the world sometimes, especially if my videos drag on, but I think there are a lot of people who wanted to hear, what I had to say, and especially with Battlefield 3 being, one of the biggest games that I play, other than, like, say, fighting games like Mortal Kombat or something. This is the other big game that I play, and I'm glad that I finished Grand Theft Auto 5, finished everything on it, so I don't really have a reason to go back to that anytime soon. and I can pick up on a fresh game of Battlefield. So, again, if you want to check, the game out, I'd recommend checking it out now. If you ever want to play with me or, uh, any of my clanmates, which isn't very many of them, to be honest, but, me and Icy at least play the game, so, you can check me out on PSN, Stoner Crazy Clips. Same way I spell my name here on YouTube, but without the twos. So, it's that, and then the other person to play with is I See You Over There 31. So yeah, if you ever want to play with us, you can add us both on PSN if you're interested. Again, I know a lot of people don't see these videos from me, which is fine. They don't. Some people just probably don't care. But if you are interested and you're still not on my friends list or whatever, you can go ahead and add me there, and we can play Battlefield together. So yeah, hope you guys, hopefully you guys will give this a chance. Maybe try it for yourself. Again, I would recommend renting the game first to see if you like it or not. There are some changes. The control style changes don't bother me that much. I'll get used to it. I don't necessarily care for it. I'd rather have the Battlefield 3 style stuff back, but I'll get used to it. So, that's all I wanted to say for right now. Well, I guess I'll finalize a little bit. One more quick thing. The unlock system, because I said I didn't like it last time. I still don't agree with the unlock system, the way it works, but, again, it's just another thing I'll just deal with. I've still been able to get really good on the boards now, 1 and 2 spots, maybe sometimes not quite that high, but a lot of times I'm getting around where I normally get on Battlefield 3, which was nice, because back in the day, man, again, you just check my KD on PS3 and PC, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You know, because yeah, you could just tell by looking at both of those stats that it's not just because I had practice on PC. It's just that's how much better this is now. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap it up for real this time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Take care, and we'll see you for the next video. Peace.